The question, who am I, is one of the more challenging things that we have to answer. And I think it's at the root of a lot of problems that we experience in our own life within the business environment. And it's a real challenge for us to sit down and think about, who am I? Um, So if you don't know me, I am Professor Dave Massac. I'm Associate Professor of Innovation Strategy and Entrepreneurship, and I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I wanted to pay the favor forward to help you out as much as I possibly can. Understanding who you are and what you're about resolves a lot of different um, problems that you might experience in your life and in the business, in your business as well. Because if you understand what you're about, you no longer worry about what other people are doing, and you just focus on the thing that you're doing. And all of that social comparison that you have, where you're thinking, I'm not good enough, or I don't measure up to everybody else, you can simply just say, well, I'm different than them. And there's no way to compare me to them because I know who I am about. Um, Knowing who you are and asking that question, who am I, is a challenge where you have to stop and think what it is that you represent. And once you understand what you represent and what you're about, it makes everybody else understand, or makes everybody else know how to go to you and when to go to you when they're experiencing moments where they might need somebody like you. The challenge is most of us don't know who we are. And I think that's the internal struggle that we face, where we're constantly reflecting. We think, like, at a moment, we think that we understand who we are, and then it fades. And then we reflect on, who am I? What am I about? And then we understand who we are, and then it fades. And so we're constantly updating and thinking about our own personal identity, or our business identity. Having those conversations where you sit down and you start thinking about, what are we actually about here, is an important. So sorry, I was interrupted. But I just wanted to say, remember to keep thinking about who you are and questioning why you're doing things. I think that's super important, because we forget who we are regularly, and I think that's normal to get caught up in the world around us, to get caught up. Maybe it's in our work, or family life, or whatever, and we forget who we are, and we have to think about what it is that we're about, um, and question, what is it that we can do to become a better us, become a better ourself. But you have to know who yourself is, or what yourself is at first. And I see this question in the classroom a lot, where, I might ask, how come you're not doing the thing that you really want to do? And a lot of people will answer, I don't know what to do. I don't know what the thing is that I'm passionate about. And it's a lot of, it is difficult for people to figure that out. But I think questioning and stopping and looking to see it, what is it that I'm about? And having that sort of thoughtful moment where you are going in and taking that deep dive, and really questioning and thinking and pondering. And that's only something that you can answer yourself, because we all have different answers with that. We all have different experiences, and I can't tell you what it is that you should do. But, stopping and thinking, who am I, is important for us to see where you should go in the future, and know what it is that you not only are going to do and to act upon, but also knowing whether you're doing it correctly or that you're sort of wandering in the right direction. I don't think we'll ever perfectly know who we are. We're always, I don't think, like, as human beings, I really don't, truly don't think that. And that's good, because what that means is we're adaptive creatures. And I think that's where we should not, like, get upset about that. That means, what does that mean? So that means that the environment is always changing around us. And we adapt, we adapt to the environment, we change with the environment. And that's wise in an environment that is changing, sometimes very rapidly, to not be wedded too much to, a strong identity, and think about, oh, there actually is something that I could do here that is more better suited, or that I find interesting. Um, so be okay with the fact that you're maybe not quite sure about who you are, because there is always opportunities out there. But just know that you can explore the world, but still coming back to what it is that you think that you're about, and always questioning that before you act on something. That's all I want to talk about today, because I think it's really important for us to understand our identity. Um, Even though we might not perfectly understand it, and I don't perfectly understand what I'm about. I don't think I ever will, but I know I have some coherent themes in my life, and I'm going to try to work on that. So, with that, hopefully you enjoyed this podcast. Send me a couple of comments if you do, and we'll see you on the next pod. All right, bye.